Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome back to some more Star Citizens. Now today I've decided to have a look at the 350R, and let's just say races in general, and just have a bit of a conversation about races, because if you watch my videos, we've looked at the sort of the large ship, the constellations, and the and down from that, and we've also looked at fighters as well. We haven't actually covered the Hornet off yet, but we've looked at the 325A. Now, one thing I haven't actually brought up yet is really having had a good discussion around racers and the benefits of having a ship that can go fast or accelerate to the top speed. I'm actually seriously considering. I mean, I've swapped out one ship in the time I've had my package, so I very rarely actually swap out a ship. But I'm actually considering getting the 350R and actually melting down my 325A. Now, there's a good reason for that. If you actually look at the lengths, all the lengths are the same, the beam's the same, the height's the same. Obviously, the cargo mass is less in the racer, which is 1,700 kilograms. And the reason is obviously for that is because, it's got less weaponry on board. And obviously the engines are more geared for racing, so they're probably built out of light material and so on and so on. But the quite interesting factor about this, you've got to take into consideration, this can carry 5 tons. 5 tons is a good bit of weight. Now let's say, for instance, a factory, like if you've seen my How the Universe Will Work, let's just say a factory needs 5 tons of X, 10 tons of this, 20 tons of this, and 50 tons of that. You can quite easily do that job for 5 tons, and you can execute it faster than anyone else. I mean, like, deliver it, get out there, pick up another load, deliver it. You could do it faster. So there's another reason for getting a racer. I mean, there is going to be racing in the game you can do as well and stuff like that. I'm sure there will be. But for me, I want to do things quickly. Now, when I look at my 325A, although I could use that as the fighter, I'm not really a fighter player. I'm probably going to spend less time doing PvP than I am PvE. So I'm looking at my 325 thinking, well, actually, wouldn't I rather just have the faster one that can deliver the load faster? The other side of it is as well, obviously the 350R, it's not really built for doing long distance, although it has the sleeping compartment, it can go long distance, there's no doubt about that. But at the same time, the engines are designed to push out as much power as you possibly can to get to that speed. Now, as far as I'm aware, Star Citizens are going to set a speed limit into the game. So let's just say, argument's sake, just give an example, 60 mile an hour, that's the speed limit. M50V, 350R, M50 will get there to the top speed first, and obviously the 350R will be behind. We don't know that for a fact, obviously, but I'm making that assumption on the basis that it's got better engines on the 350 and the power to weight ratio, blah, 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 and so on. They're made by the same maker anyway, so let's just make that assumption. It's appealing for me. I mean, if I could get the 350, if I could get the 50 now, I would probably get that. But like I said, this is appealing to me. Now, it's got one Class 1 main weapon, which is the front, which could be... It could be many of things, really. You could put a tractor beam on here. There's all sorts of things you can put on it. You can pretty much melt anything you could. The 325 or any of the other ships. Down in the 300 series as such. Now, you can see the mounting point for the tractor beam here. Big gap. Now, one thing I did notice is these little things here. Obviously, they're air intakes. And I also noticed, if you actually look on the top there, you can see they're just behind the actual back of the compartment there. There's a little hatch lifting up, and I'm assuming that's something to do with the racing engine part of it. I might be wrong. That's my assumption. Now, looking from the rear as well, you can see once it's been stripped down, I say stripped down of weapons, obviously there's no weapons on it because it doesn't come with any weapons, and this is how it comes. Now, the racing engines, once again, nicely animated. Now, I spent a bit of time actually looking at this. I mean, PBR's not added, but that's still pretty impressive, the detail they've gone to. So let's say there. Okay. Move nearer the front. Front landing gear. Quite detailed, actually, the landing gear. I've actually put it over here. I moved the ship over here because it's got better light here, I find. Let's see, it looks very, very detailed, guys. Look, even up here, look, I had a look in here. It's all got the hydraulic rams there to close the door. You can see the hydraulic ram to lift the leg. Other components up there. So I'm seriously thinking about trading in for this. And the other side of it is as well, what I'm actually quite interested in. I mean, we don't really know. We don't really know what Information Runner is as of yet. You know, I've been talking on the chat channel, on the forums and stuff like that, you know, saying that what's stopping an M50 or 350R being an Information Runner? Unless an Information Runner has a special computer that that downloads some data that has to be delivered. That's the only way an Information Runner ship would actually be more appealing. Unless it's got some sort of cloaking device. Maybe it has. Maybe it hasn't. But let's just say it does have a cloaking device and it does have this data node that you collect the data and you've got to deliver it. That might be the case. Or maybe deliver blueprints or something like that. Why can't that module be fitted on another ship? You know, like the 350R or the M50. There's lots of things we don't know yet. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to do dogfighting? You know, I want to do the dogfighting, obviously, because I want to be a part of it. And, you know, it's when I say do the dogfighting, it's more for me rather than the dogfighting, it's more about flying a ship, really. Does that sort of make sense? And yeah, shooting the guns as well, that comes into hand. But I think the exploring and flying in space and flying the bigger ships is more appealing to me than actually fighting, you know, a Hornet all the time. Or, you know, you want to take a role in the game. You want to actually do something, you know what I mean? You don't mind shooting other ships in the dogfight like PvP, but after a while, you probably will get bored of it. Looking inside, we've got two doors. Coming in this side. Can open this side as well. See if we can... I don't think it's going to give us much more light. You see a nice little lock there. Door opens up. Lamborghini doors. Not speculation on this, but these do look like beds, don't they? So I think what these are going to be a pull-out bed. You click on that, the bed folds out. Comes out probably about here or something, and then you can get in the bed. Yeah, there is two beds, by the looks of it. Some other little compartment there. And what we do know, what I've found is most of the ships have a storage compartment. Like if you look at I know the Constellation is obviously larger. Most of the ships have a storage compartment. But whether that is going to be the storage compartment or... Let's have a look, see where else it could be. Could be down there, look. That says, what's that say? It looks like a fire extinguisher there. It's a fire extinguisher, isn't it? So look on the other side. Same sort of thing. It may not be that. But normally they have a storage compartment. Because don't forget, there's obviously planetary stuff you can do. And you can carry weapons and stuff like that. And as we've seen from the containers that have been put upstairs, you could open the container. Container opens and there's sort of like, you know, boots and all that sort of stuff. I think it's actually over there somewhere. I'm sure there's going to be something here somewhere where you can bring along, you know, a change of clothes and so on. Okay. If we can make it out here, we can have a look. See what else we got. When I get up there, should be able to do. Probably might fall for the ship if I do. This is the bit I was talking about earlier. And this is must be a part of the race engine. Flying around to the back there. Some sort of air duct. Let's go and have a look, see if we can get up here. I don't know if I can. I'll get stuck. Not a major issue. Probably going to get stuck, so I don't want to go too far that way. Thrusters there. Maneuver with thrusters. And a nice good look round here. Some sort of ducting here. Here we go, got on the top. Bit worried. Now, as you can see, look here, there's some sort of rescue hatch. Now, obviously most of the ships, some of the larger ships like the Constellation has escape pods. I'm assuming then that for you to a skateboard. Well, there's no actually eject mechanism, and not from what I can see. You know, looking down this way, if you're in because normally, you know, in the Constellation you get in the bed and the bed doubles up as the escape pod, but here in this situation, the bed is underneath all this engine matter, so I can't see that being an escape pod. Now I know this is escape hatch, but obviously someone's going to have to dock on here to get you out, unless you've got a spacesuit, obviously. But then I don't really see where you're just going to float around. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But the hatch is there anyway, so for you guys in the Avengers, you know, you might be coming out and save a few 300 series pilots as such. Now, why don't we move down the front here as well? Got the nice paintwork down there as well. Origin 350R. Looks quite nice. I like the paintwork, looks nice. I like the colour scheme as well. Got the paintwork down that side as well. You can see some more manoeuvre thrusters there at the front. Engine looks pretty cool, doesn't it? You can see in there, it's all like shiny and it's actually gold, isn't it? Actually, they sometimes use that as sort of, you know, gold to reflect the heat, don't they? So maybe that's what it's for. Your engines are awesome, don't they? Looks fantastic. I'm going to jump down here just to... More parts here relating to the engine. Seems to be, these look like exhaust ducts, but it could well be. There we go, so we've got the Origin Jumpworks logo on the side there. Looks like we've got some flaps on the wing, or something on the wing here. Some sort of panel anyway. Flaps. Obviously the gun. Minimal guns really, I mean... I think the advantage with this, I think if I had it, I would play it. I would do the delivering the cargo aspect of it. I'm going to jump down because it's going to get buggy otherwise. I'll do the sort of deliver the 5 tons of cargo, but at the same time, probably what I'll do, and you know, if I come under attack, I wouldn't stop. Obviously, you know, I mean, probably what I would try and do, you probably want to slow your enemy down and then accelerate off. I think that would be my plan anyway, because you know you're going to beat him on acceleration speed. I mean, there is the racing part of it in the game, you know, but like I said, we'll have to wait and see what that is actually going to be. One of the other reasons, you know, the main reason I'm thinking now, the only thing what's holding me on that button for not getting this at the moment is when the dogfighting goes live, we know the Hornet's obviously going to be in there. They're going to have to put more than one ship in there. It can't be just Hornet, surely. So I'm thinking if I keep the 325, at least I can use that and try that out. But then saying that, maybe you better use the 350R. I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought... Oh, there's another little... What's that there? There's a little danger. It's obviously near the guns, isn't it? I wouldn't have thought they would only put one ship in there. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, interesting. We won't be doing that then. Sounds a bit dangerous. Very detailed. Shame we just couldn't... Oh, we need a torch or something. I've said in my other video, we need some sort of light so we can actually see in here. I mean, it's just... Can't really appreciate what's here because it's just, at the moment, it just looks like a very dark area. I suppose obviously it is, but it'd be nice to have a torch to actually have a look, see... You know, see the detail. The choices are, you've got, like I said, M50... or 350R. There's not actually, there's only the only 2 races that are really there. Seems a little bit odd really that there was only 2, isn't it? I mean, if you're putting a ship into a sort of a racing bracket, that means that, you know, you very rarely have a race when there's only 2 different cars and there's only ever 2 different cars. It seems slightly pointless. So we're probably going to expect to see maybe 3, maybe 4 different other races along the way. Maybe the information runner. Maybe the information runner falls into that bracket. Like I said, there's not a massive amount of information on that really sort of gives us an indication of actually what the ship specs are going to be like. The other thing you need to take into account as well, all the stats on the Star Citizen sites could change for the ships. What you see there now may not That's what might not be there on launch. They might change the weapon loadouts. They might change the engines. Things might change. We know that for certain. I mean, it stays it on the ship page for starters. And all the brochures have not been released for the ships anyway. And also, they haven't even specified what part, what manufacturers some of the parts have actually made by. Now that could be because there's going to be other manufacturers coming into the lines and they don't want to necessarily tell us. Not quite sure. So I'll tell you what would be quite interesting, guys. Out of all the people that watch this video, how many of you have got a racer? How many of you got an M50? How many of you got a 350? And then I suppose the next question is, if you haven't got the 350, why did you choose the 315? I mean, I know the 315 is better at long distance and so on. You know what, I'm starting to think now, they're saying there's going to be gas giants and there's going to be refueling. I'm not seeing, racing along and fueling an issue. I'm thinking I'll just race towards a Starfare or something, and just refuel. Or refuel from a gas giant, or refuel from somewhere, or a factory, or from an AI, or... Unless you say, actually, I want to go into deep space. I want to go really, really deep space, fair enough. I mean, there could still be somewhere to actually refuel in deep space. We don't really know. Who knows? Is it just going to be you flying for weeks and weeks on end and to see nothing? Who knows? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear the guys, I want someone to push me over the edge. I want someone to say something about the 350 and a reason why they've picked it that I haven't thought of, that makes me, I just need a little bit more to actually swap it out. Because at the moment I'm thinking, I don't know, I don't get it. I mean, I'm thinking I can deliver stuff fast. I can go to the guild, go to a company, pick up 5 tons and deliver it fast and get back. I suppose actually you might have to start looking at fuel costs. Maybe it burn more fuel, but then if you're getting there faster, then surely it should be the same as if you go there slower, unless it actually does burn more fuel, which it possibly could do, and then you wouldn't make as much on the load. That could be that scenario. One thing we don't know yet as well, we don't know if there's going to be time deliveries. I mean, that's another reason for races as well. Someone might say, look, I need to get X here, this 1 ton load within X amount of time, and you've got to get there within that time the fastest you possibly can. And obviously that's going to make perfect sense for a mission. Or another scenario, let's say my own company, I say, I want to get this blueprint, I want to get this item to this location, and I want you to get it there as quick as you can. You're more than likely going to use a 350, or aren't you? More than likely, or an M50. Let me know in the comments, guys. If you've got the 350, let's start talking about some other ideas, because I'm really interested in this ship, but I just need something else just to push me over the edge to say, all right. Yeah, I can see there's a good purpose for that. I'm going to go with that. That's pretty much us done on sort of the racing element of it. Now, what I would be interested in, I don't know if anyone's got the M50. And I'm not really sure what we can actually see of it, but I'll be interested to do a video on it. So if anyone's got one and they're willing to give me their login, that'd be very kind of you. I've done a lot of other people have given their logins as well. A lot of other YouTubers and individuals, and with all fairness, a lot of you have offered me your logins to do reviews on your own ships as well. And look, guys, very kind of you. I really appreciate that. So thanks to everyone who's made an offer, but haven't seen one for the 350 yet. I know it's only a tiddy little ship, but I just want to get it in front of me and look at it. I want to walk around it. I want to just get an idea of actually how small it is. I mean, I think as far as I'm aware, it's absolutely tiny. It's tiddy. You just get in and then you're in the cockpit and that is it. It's just it's more like a Formula 1 car. You're in the seat. Obviously, you've got a canopy obviously over you. There's a screen, but it's just you sitting in the seat with a whopper engine on the back. But I'd like to have a look at it. So, guys, anyone got one? Let me know. Ladies and gentlemen, anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.